The animated film The Iron Giant is certainly a cult classic. It's been years since I last saw this, so this was a nice refresher. And quite frankly, this is probably one of the better animated movies of the late 1990s. Based on the 1968 novel The Iron Man, the story of this one is that it takes place in 1957. A young boy named Hogarth Hughes, he discovers and befriends a giant alien robot. But at the same time, Kent Mansley, a federal agent, he is on a mission to find and destroy the giant. This is truly a great movie, especially the message about humanity and the meaning of a soul, how to care for other people. It actually is some good lessons to teach to the younger generation. Me personally, I always did like this one. It's not one of my favorite animated films from the 1990s, but I do have a lot of respect for it. While it is unfortunate that this film was poorly marketed, so a lot of people didn't know about it when it came out, but in the years since, it has gained a huge cult following. And this one is very compelling to look at just because of the characters and how great of an impact the story has as well. Now, not only does the story make this film, but also the characters as well. Especially the relationship between Hogarth and the Iron Giant. It was nicely done. The Iron Giant was drawn perfectly. He has that alien robot frame, but his purpose is not known. I mean, for all we know, he might have came from an evil organization of robots. I mean, it kind of alludes to that a little bit, in particular flashback. But what I really like about these two characters is that Hogarth, he protected the Iron Giant just by being there for him. Even though he's a little kid, he cared a whole lot about this big giant alien from another planet. It kind of reminds me of the character Superman because he is referenced here. Both characters come from a distant world. They grow up being something more. And I really like how this film plays up to the fact that the Iron Giant isn't a threat, but then when the villain of the film, Kent, shows up calling in the government, I really didn't like this character because he just saw a alien monster. He didn't really try to understand the Iron Giant whatsoever. And that also brings me up to another character, Dean, who was cool, to say the least. I mean, obviously he cares a lot about Hogarth, but when he's interacting with the Iron Giant, there are some laughable moments. In fact, a lot of this film is funny. It's heartfelt as well. Plus, near the end of this film, well, the Iron Giant pretty much saves the town from being nuked. It's unfortunate this one never got a sequel, only because it never made back more money than its budget. Like, that's one of the main reasons. But I really felt like maybe a sequel could have eventually happened like years later, but maybe it's a good thing a sequel didn't happen because I have seen a lot of anime sequels out there that are just downright awful. The animation looks great for 1999. The music is very enjoyable. And overall, I think that Brad Bird, considering this was his directorial debut, he did such an excellent job here. I mean, he's known for his other anime films such as The Incredibles 1 and 2, Ratatouille. At the end of the day, this is such a great animation. It's less than 90 minutes. You can watch it during a particular weekend, especially with your entire family, just because it has so many hopeful messages. I'm giving this film an 8 out of 10. This one stands the test of time even 25 years later. I also like to give credit to Warner Brothers. They made a classic which is not only heartfelt, but also very entertaining. Another point I wanted to mention is that despite the similarities between this and 1982's E.T. the Extraterrestrial, I think the story is done just a little bit better here. Despite a second movie never happening, the character the Iron Giant would go on to appear in other TV shows and films throughout the years. So the legacy of this one speaks volumes. And that's my review of The Iron Giant. Alright, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this movie. Okay, this is Slim Guy 172 saying, peace out.